Hello everyone and welcome back to F1 23 for the next round of the Formula 2 Championship in the 2022 F2 cars. We are at Silverstone for this one, round 7. I believe the end of this round will be the halfway point of the season. So without further ado, let's just get straight into qualifying here at Silverstone and we'll see how it all goes. But it's gonna be interesting. Silverstone's typically been a track I've very much enjoyed. Had a few good races here in Formula 2 in the past, and it's a track where I feel like I can push the limits fairly well. So the difficulty is turned up a bit more for this round. Hopefully we should be able to get some good racing and be a bit more evenly matched with the other drivers compared to the previous episode. So we'll see. Missed a few apexes though, not by a small amount throughout this lap so far into Maggots and Beckett's now. Get through Maggots alright. We get through Beckett's, not too bad either actually. And we are now on the run along the Hangar Straight, I believe. I always get them mixed up. Which straight is which, through Stowe, a little bit wide on the exit there, as I didn't do a ton of practice heading into this round. Silverstone circuit I know only too well, but anyway, as we come through the final corner now, we'll see where the lap puts us. We go fastest so far.
The grid is all set for the race tomorrow, but before we go, let's quickly remind ourselves of our top 3, which are
Duin, Dragovic, and Yuri Vips.
goodbye for now then, but we really are just getting started. Make sure you join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
So it's another pole position for us in this race. I think I'm going to have to start turning the difficulty up specifically for qualifying, because this is getting a little bit ridiculous. But for some reason, everyone else just, I don't know, they don't get good laps in qualifying, but I won't adjust the difficulty into the race and I'll be much faster. So yeah, I don't know what that's about. But anyway, Sato does a good job in qualifying, up in 4th position with MP 2nd and 5th. Good run from them as well. Let's get into the race.
And hello to everyone joining us here in Silverstone this weekend as the drivers make their final preparations for today's race. The grid is forming up and we're getting ready for what promises to be a real spectacle. 5 miles out from Tosa, this icon of British motorsport heritage comprises 18 corners over 3.6 miles of circuit. Silverstone has been through several changes over its lifetime, with the start line now leading into Abbey, a fast right-hander for turn 1. But still there, of course, is the circuit's most famous and iconic sequence of corners, starting at Maggots, turn 10. Joining me today in the commentary box is 2012 GP2 champion Davide Valsecchi. We all know the circuit so well, Davide. What's got your attention today?
Always a pleasure, Alex. Everyone looks forward to Silverstone, and with such an intriguing grid, I think the fans will be excited for the start of today's race. We know these young drivers are hungry to prove themselves. Hopefully, we'll be seeing some more history being made today.
Alrighty, so here we are on the grid, ready to go racing here at Silverstone. Strategy is either a no stop on the hards or a one stop rather, using 2 sets of the soft compound tires. Once again, the tire selection glitch will become an issue in the feature race. So if we use these hard tires for the whole race, we are going to have very little left on them to work with. But everyone else is using the hard tires, and I don't want to advantage myself by not using them now, if that makes sense. I want to make this fair, so we're going to go for the hards as we go to the 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go for the sprint race here at Silverstone. And we actually get a fairly good launch off the line, gaining a couple of positions and ahead of our teammate already, who started 3 spots up the grid from us, but did not get away from the line well. Dive down the inside of Yuri Vips, who did a good job to see us coming there. So we bounce over the curve a little bit on the inside. We go high and wide into the left-hander to try and carry the speed on the exit. Seems to work for us, and we've gained that position ahead of Yuri Vips as well. So a good start for us. We're up into 7th position. Up 3 from where we were on the grid. Sato unfortunately has dropped down into 9th, so he's down 2, I believe, as I think he started P7. So yeah, a little bit, you know, I guess 3 steps forward, 2 steps back for the team, but that's still a positive. We continue on. We're trying to shape for the move on Ollie Caldwell. Not able to do anything there. We'll stay behind the Brit for a little bit longer. And Ollie Caldwell been pretty quick recently. It was you know, in the Monksy action in Azerbaijan, and now the home race for Ollie Caldwell. We'll see if the form continues. But a good run through Maggots and Beckett's. But we sort of got a bit stuck behind Caldwell. We got that run just slightly too soon and couldn't keep the momentum on the exit, so we have to stay behind the Campos car for a little bit longer as we go for a later apex there through Stowe. And now we'll see if we can make the move. We'll go to the outside into the club section and we'll get the move done there. And we're a bit wide on the exit, and Caldwell will get back through as we're side by side with Yuri Vips, and that could actually give an opportunity to Sato as Vips backs out of it into the first corner. But Sato also lifts and slots in behind Yuri Vips once more as we're having a little bit of a moment up there, but we managed to keep it all under control. And now Sato still trying to line up a move on Yuri Vips as we're wide again there through the loop, but we are still remaining on board with Marino Sato because there's a good run here coming from Sato behind Yuri Vips to the outside into Brooklands. And oh, that was a bit close to contact there as Yuri Vips was not turning into that corner quite as well as Sato there, but Sato fighting this one out on the inside and will just about get through on Yuri Vips. Nice move there by our teammate, and is up into the points scoring positions now. So that's a good start for Sato in this race. Good start to the recovery, I should say. And we should hopefully be both faster than Ollie Caldwell, as we were very slow there. Just took way too much to that inside curve, which is very, very tall, very bouncy and rough. And Sato was able to get the run on us. But it's not too long before we are on form once again and catch up to Sato once more. And we'll make the move on Sato down the inside into Stowe, and we'll switch back once more. So yeah, the pace is decent enough at the moment, and we again catch up to Ollie Caldwell. Big lunge down the inside and get the move done into Village, so that's nice. And we give him the space on the inside.
Good work, great pass.
Just in case he wanted to try to fight back there. So we go a bit wide through Aintree, but no harm done. Caldwell's got a bit of a run, but I don't think it'll be enough for him to get back up the inside. We just move across slightly earlier into the left-hander of Brooklands, and we will keep the position. So we're up into P6 now. Next car up the road is Callan Williams. So we'll see if we can catch up to the Trident driver, race winner last time out in Azerbaijan in the sprint race. Started, I believe, from reverse grid pole actually. So Callan Williams has dropped quite significantly. I wonder if there is maybe some kind of issue, because back in Azerbaijan he absolutely dominated that sprint race until we caught up, and it became a bit more of a fight, but compared to the others he was unstoppable. But anyway, we get the run on Callan Williams out of Maggots and Beckett's along the hangar straight, and we get the move done and up one more position into the top 5 now. So it's been a solid race so far. We're not exactly you know, rocketing through the field. Just we go for a big slide there, we just about catch it, but we were all kinds of out of shape there, but we got away with it. Here's the onboard from Callan Williams behind, who had the perfect view of that nice drift. And yeah, we managed to just about keep this thing pointing in the right direction mostly. But anyway, we catch up now to Clement Novalak in the MP car, the Frenchman, having another decent weekend here as we have a lunge down the inside, not able to do anything there. so we remain behind for a bit longer. Again, a bit wide at Stowe, but yeah, we are going to go for the move from a long way back here. Big move down the inside of Novalak. He did a great job to see us coming there, but we can't turn it right through the final couple of corners, and Novalak is going to get back through as we leave it out high and wide there. Bit of gravel. Kind of forgot that was there these days. But anyway, we'll have another go at Novalak though soon enough, and we go for the move down the inside. We're a little bit deep again, but we should be able to hold on to it this time, as Novalak is going to probably get a good run here. We're a bit wide on the exit. Novalak can't do anything though, and will remain behind. We look back to Sato, who's getting a good run on Callan Williams now, and is going to go for the move around the outside into Stowe. Nicely done there by our teammate Marino Sato, and I think he's gotten the move done. This is a terrible camera angle to see. We're on board now with Callan Williams. Where is Sato? There he is, and Sato has got the move done. So that is nicely done there, and we go back on board with myself through Cops and a bit sideways on the exit off the road, and we just about keep it out of the barriers, but this is going to cost us a lot of time, and these are the kinds of mistakes as Marino Sato goes charging through there, and yeah, these are the kinds of mistakes we're going to make when we are, you know, pushing the limits. You know, whereas in Azerbaijan I was you know, just being very, very careful, trying not to you know, run into any of the barriers. Here you can afford to push a bit more. There's more margin for error, and that's what happens. So yeah, it's tricky as Yuri Vips goes for the move around the outside, and can't quite get the move done. But we don't have any damage, and you know, the tyres are still absolutely fine. So you know, we should be okay to continue and recover from this. But yeah, that's is going to ruin any chance of a podium in this race, I think, as we're just keeping an eye on Yuri Vips. Meanwhile, we have Marino Sato very close to Ollie Caldwell, and looks like there may be an overtake incoming very soon as Sato goes to the inside and gets the move done pretty easily there on Ollie Caldwell into Stowe. Yeah, so it's nicely done there as Caldwell slots in behind the British driver, dropping back after running well for a while in this race, but doesn't seem to have the pace at the moment as Yumu Iwasa. Big mechanical failure there. That's a lot of smoke coming out the back of the Mecha Chrome engine, and Yumu Iwasa retires from the race, as does Ralph Boschung not a moment later. So yeah, two mechanical failures in quick succession as Ayumi Iwasa and Ralph Boschum will take no further part in this one. We catch up to Ollie Caldwell once again, and we should be able to get back through on the British driver as we get the run on the exit of Maggots and Beckett's. We will make the move.
Good job, nice overtake.
In a straight line up towards Stowe, and that's job done. We're back up and into P6. Sato running in the top
P6,
5.
you got P6.
So we continue on, and there hasn't been much happening in the recent past. That's got to be said. And we'll come around to complete this lap, and it's going to be the fastest.
That's the new fastest lap of the race.
Of the race, with only a few laps to go. So that's very promising news for us. We might get the bonus points.
You just started the final lap of the race.
As we start the final lap of the race, Felipe Drugovich beats our fastest lap by a couple of thousandths of a second. There really is not much in it, but unfortunately he nicks away that bonus point as he is in 8th position at the moment, so within the top 10, and also within regular points scoring positions as well in the feature race. But yeah, I'm starting to struggle on these tyres towards the end of this one. But out in front, Jane Deruval has been unchallenged and takes a great victory here in the sprint race. And for us, we will bring it around the final corner, and it'll be a decent recovery after the spin to come home in P6.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
But I think the podium was on if we didn't spin, but that's how it goes. We do get the driver of the day though.
Well, what a drive that was to take the win for Prema today. So, Davide, how exactly did they set themselves apart from the pack today?
I think this race was won thanks to the Tyre management. You have to remember, it's not just about going as fast as you can. It's about consistency. It's about maintaining your speed over an entire race distance. So being able to keep the lap time competitive while still respecting the tires, that's where they won today.
It looks like it's time for the victory ceremony once again, as I can see the drivers beginning to make their way out for the celebrations. You can see it on their faces. It's another marvellous team win for Prema today.
Well, it is race victory here for Jan Deruvela for the sprint race at Silverstone. Second place goes to Liam Lawson with Dennis Hauger in third.
And now, let's take a look at the driver's standings. It's a good result for Jack Doohan, who extends his advantage at the top of the championship. And so, driver of the day then, Davide Valsecchi, who do you think you'd go for?
Difficult call, but I'd say Jehan Daruvala. He was committed the entire race, and it's paid off with the result.
And here's how things are shaping up in the team's championship. Virtuosi moved to the top of the table. Meanwhile, Prema have improved their position. A strong weekend for them as they fight their way to the top. After all this drama, you'll be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
Alrighty, so let's have a little run through the finishing order. We just saw the podium of Deruvela, Liam Lawson and Dennis Hauger on the podium in the top three. Good run from them, and for the Prema team, that'll be very good with two of their drivers on the podium. But anyway, looking further down the order, it was Novalak ahead of Sato, myself, and then Yuri Vips and Dragovic rounding out the point scorers, with Dragovic taking the fastest lap by just 0.08 of a second in the end, with Richard Bashaw and Tyre Portier rounding out the top 10, but no points for them here in the sprint race. It was a tough day for Ollie Caldwell and Callan Williams, and they dropped all the way down to 13th and 14th respectively, so I think it's only fair to assume they had some mechanical dramas in that race, because yeah, they really dropped away throughout the race. But it was a good race for Sato, and closes in championship standings a little bit, 85 points behind me, and 16 points behind Amari Cordial, who runs second. Sato's up to third in the standings though, ahead of Tyre Portier, who is just 3 points behind Sato, 88 off the championship lead. But in terms of the constructors' standings, or the team standings rather, we still lead the way ahead of Prema, and it is still no real competition. We've got more than double Prema's points haul so far. Myself and Sato are just absolutely smashing it. So yeah, that's not really a major concern at the moment. I don't know how long we have to go before we can basically say we've won it, but I imagine that will happen at some point if the form for us continues. But the big race is up next, the feature race, where Formula 1, standard Formula 1 points will be awarded, so things can change much more drastically in that one. So without further ado, I think it's time we get into it. The feature race here at Silverstone.
It's Sunday, and that means it's race time here at Silverstone. As the cars are being prepared, let's join them trackside for the start of the race. The 3.6 miles of Silverstone circuit in Great Britain should be familiar to fans and drivers alike. Built on the site of a World War II airbase, the track features 18 corners and some good opportunities to overtake at the end of 2 DRS zones, located on the Wellington and Hanger Straights. Here are the starting positions for today's race. Jack Doohan lines up on pole position, and it's Felipe Drugovich in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vips, Sato, Clermont Novalak, Caldwell, Hauger, Lawson, Deruvala, Callan Williams, Owasa, Pourchaire, Richard Verschoor, Marcus Armstrong, Hughes, Fittipaldi, Vesti, Amory Cordial, Sargent, Nissani, Calderon, and Ralph Boschon completes the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's get down to the track. Davide, is there anything we should be looking for in today's race? The teams are all very competitive at the moment, so are we about to witness a push from anyone in particular?
Hi Alex, the team will have been studying everyone else out there very carefully. So I think we are in for a very interesting event today. I can't wait to see how this race unfolds.
Alrighty, so we're here on the grid ready to go racing for the feature race at Silverstone, and look at this nonsense strategy in front of us. One lap on hards and then soft to the end. That's not gonna work. I want to try, or at least I want to give myself the opportunity to make a one-stop work. So basically we need to make a tyre compound change after lap 6, and due to the quirks of the strategy screen, we can only put the hards at the start or the end unless we set the strategy manually during the race, but that sort of overcomplicates things. And I want to get the hards out of the way early because they are going to be awful, and just hope a safety car might save us later. I think everyone else has to deal with this strategy nonsense as well, but anyway, I'm going to start on the hards. I'll try to stretch them to lap 6. We'll be in puncture territory by the time we get there, but hopefully we can get away with it. Then we'll just go from on softs to the end. 5 lights are on, and it's lights out, and away we go for the feature race at Silverstone. And it's a pretty good start on these very worn tyres, and we'll escape down the road through the first couple of corners. Felipe Drugovich seems to have gotten away well too. Yuri Vips dropping behind Marino Sato, which is good news for the folks back at the Virtuosi pit wall. But for us, it's been a clean start, and we just need to keep these first 6 laps tidy and mistake-free if we can. But on these tyres, it's not going to be easy. So as we head into the second sector, this is I guess where mistakes probably can start to be made. We're doing it alright so far, but the lack of grip is already becoming very apparent as we head up towards the Cops, past the old start line for the first time, breaking into Cops, and we go a little bit deep, missing the apex there.
Don't worry about it, mate. It can happen to the best of us. Now look, I've put a new strategy option for you in the MFD, so go and have a look.
And a new strategy option available. The strategy was already to pit on lap 1 or 2, so I don't really know what that's going to be. But anyway, we're going to push on from that. I don't really know what happened there, but clearly there was some cause for a new strategy. We don't have damage.
Those tyres are going to fall off the cliff soon. Take extreme care.
Especially to the front wing, which is when the engineer would usually give that message. So yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but regardless, we've held on to the position. Drugovich heads into pit lane, so I don't know if anyone else is going to follow suit, but doesn't appear to be so. Look like there are a few.
Okay, the pit window's open, so let's box this lap.
Carrying on. But anyway, down the inside goes Sato as we'll slow out of the final corner. And Sato takes the lead of the feature race here at Silverstone. Nicely done there. And we'll actually see the onboard start of the race from Sato. Good launch off the line versus Yuri Vips on the left there, and was able to take that position almost immediately. but not as good as the front row. Both myself and Dragovic getting away well at the start of this one, and then this is what happened at Kops. We went a bit wide and Dragovic made contact, and the front wing is off for Felipe Dragovic, or at least the left side end plate. So that's unfortunate for Felipe Dragovic. Just went for the window that emerged there for a moment, but didn't, I guess, realize that we were still going to make the corner. So Felipe Dragovic, I guess, made that pit stop for a new front wing. That makes a lot more sense, while everyone else is trying to stretch the hard tyres for as long as possible. It'll be interesting though to see how the strategy goes for Felipe Dragovic, as we've dropped in behind Yuri Vips. Now he's made the move at Kops, and you can see we're continuing to struggle as we get the run on Yuri Vips. Now we have the DRS on our side, and we should be able to get back through here down the left hand side of the Hangar Straight. It'll also be interesting to see how it goes for Boschung and Iwasa, who retired from the first race. They will have better condition hard compound tyres to use throughout the race, so it could be very good for them as well. But we're just about holding off Yuri Vips right now, and we're fighting very hard for this. We may not really be in the same race as Vips and the whole crew behind us. It's really, we're only going to find out at the end, because the strategy is so confusing in this. I don't know what everyone else is going to do, but for now we will just try to hang on to the position as best we can, and the longer we can hold on to this, the more Marino Sato will be able to escape ahead of the rest of the field, which is of course very good for the team. Not that we're too concerned about the team's championship. We have a healthy margin in that department, but we're not exactly harming our own race. Sato is well and truly gone, and I don't think we're any match with him today with our compromised tyres, but we're fighting it out with Vips still here as we head through Brooklands and Luffield, and looks like we might just be able to hold on this time, but it's really only a matter of time before Vips and everyone else starts getting through, as we are really struggling.
The tyres have deteriorated significantly at this point.
At this moment of the race, but we'll keep pushing on, and we'll just keep trying our best to maintain this position. But as we head into Kops corner once more, and I think we just had a bit more contact right there. That was Yuri Vips going for the move, and this is going to be a carbon copy of what we just saw with Felipe Dragovic. Not quite as heavy contact that time, and I think Vips will get away with no damage, but struggling through Maggots and Beckett's there. We're going to have front left tyre 90% worn. This is dangerously far into puncture territory with that level of tyre wear, so it is thankfully time for us to bring it into the pit lane as Vips gets through, but he won't be too happy about that. Just makes the overtake and we come into the pit lane anyway, so it's always the way. But we finally get a new set of tyres on.
Go, go, go! Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that.
They are the soft compound.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track.
And these tyres are going to feel like heaven, because we finally have some grip to work with. My goodness, this feels good. Felipe Dragovic, unsurprisingly, has the fastest lap of the race. Did make a front wing change in his pit stop. I didn't catch that on a replay though, but Dragovic catches up to the train, starts making some moves, and I believe that was Tatiana Calderon that he was making that overtake on.
That's Calderon ahead of you. Our gap to the car in front is 16.8 seconds, 10.3 seconds, 4.6 seconds.
And with a rate of about 6 seconds a lap, which can happen. Oh, that's Felipe Dragovic, slow on the side of the road there. Yellow flag's out as we were about to go diving down the inside of Tatiana Calderon, but green flag is out again, and that is a mechanical failure for Felipe Dragovic. And after all that work, starting to make the overtakes through the field, Dragovic will take no further part in this one, so we'll never know how the strategy would have worked out for Felipe Dragovic. We can make the move now down the inside though of Calderon and of Boschung in the same corner. 2 cars at once here as we round the final few corners and all bits up over the curb there.
Work. Great pass.
But no harm done as we continue to make the overtakes. A big lunge down the inside as we fight side by side with Amari Cordial, who's not had a good weekend here. Round the outside, and we'll make the move on Roy Nassani. We've got Logan Sargent in front of us now as we continue to make our way through the field. These overtakes are going to come thick and fast as we look to the outside of Logan Sargent. Big lunge. We're going to go for another position here as we grab Jake Hughes as well, and around the outside of Lutfield all the way around, and that is a job done. Another position made as we almost run into the back of Enzo Fittipaldi, but we grabbed Frederick Vesti there through Lutfield, and we're not going to go for the move around the outside of Copse. That's a little bit too ambitious, but we look rearwards from Richard Vashaw as we go for the lunge into Maggots and Beckett's. A little bit of contact made there, and Fittipaldi sneaks through as well, but we are absolutely flying. The excess grip we have is difficult to describe as we just drive around Liam Lawson.
Okay, Marino's in the pits. Marino in the pits.
And Sato in the pit lane. So it looks like everyone else will be making their pit stops very soon. It'll be interesting to see how that goes.
1 stop to go. Just 1 stop left in this strategy. Your pit window opens in 8 laps time.
And yeah, it looks like everyone's managed to get their tyres a fair way into this race. 11 laps as we go wide through the final couple of corners. But we're going to pass everyone who's in pit lane, of course, after lapping so quickly for a time there. But yeah, essentially at the time we pit, the entire field except for Sato and Dragovic were all just in one big line as we go for the move around the outside and get it done on Teo Porcher. So, you know, once we caught up to the back of the train, we're essentially on the back of everyone. As we also get past
mate. That brings you up a place.
Marcus Armstrong. Ayumi Iwasa is up next and currently holds the race lead, having those hard compound tyres that were in the best condition heading into this race, and we'll be on some very quick soft tyres with the later pit stop. Radio.
Side pods have taken damage. Keep an eye on your engine temperatures. Cooling may be adversely affected. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
Okay, so it seems we've damaged the car at some point. If I had to guess, it would have been that contact through Maggots with Richard Vashaw. That was an aggressive move, but I really did not want to get held up because I'm starting to think these soft tyres.
One more stop today. 1 stop left in this strategy. Your pit window opens in 5 laps time. 5 laps.
Will not make it to the end of the race with enough speed. If my tyre wear is generally worse than everyone else's, I want to be on the best tyres I can at the end. So after a 13 lap stint, we'll pit with 10 laps to go and go on to another set of the soft compound tyres. These will be our qualifying tyres, which have only got 3 laps on them. You know, the out lap, the flying lap and the in lap.
Okay,
so
mate, that's it. Go, go, go. That was a fantastic stop. Faster than we were expecting.
I've split the strategies.
These tyres now, we want to finish the race on this compound.
Or you know, split the tyre stints as evenly as possible, so that by the end of the round, both sets will have 13 laps on them. So that's you know, hopefully going to give us enough grip to fight back with this extra pit stop, while everyone else, yeah, I think is already going to the end.
And you've got P15, P15.
So I think the goal now is just to get back into the points. If we can get back into the top 10, that would be fantastic. We're not going to have the overwhelming pace before because we're not racing against cars on prehistoric hard tyres, as oh, that's very close there with Cordial and Asani. What was that? They just slammed the brakes on the exit of the corner, it seemed. Here's the replay. A tyre failure for Roy Nassani, and Cordial just didn't make the move until a little bit later. But Roy Nassani running well in this race, and then a tyre failure will end his chances of getting into the points today. The right front, that's a odd tyre failure. I've never really actually looked at what the tyres do when they have a puncture, but the actual surface of the tyres come apart from the sidewalls. That's interesting. And here is just how close we were to making contact with a Marie Cordial. Holy moly. We reacted a hundredth of a second later. We would have sheared the right front wheel off. We give the position back to Cordial, of course, with that illegal overtake warning.
Win that place back.
But yeah, holy moly, that
stable at the moment. No rain currently expected.
That is as close as it gets. We even got a collision warning. It was that close to making contact, but we obviously didn't. There was an air gap between us the whole time.
Our gap behind is 1.8 seconds.
And we still have the front wing on, so there was no contact, but that is as close as it can possibly get as Roy Nissany pits for a new set of tyres. And yeah, that's basically the end of the day for Roy Nissany. Unfortunately, those will be his qualifying tyres, I would imagine. But anyway, we continue our race, and we eventually will get past Marie Cordial once again, our main championship rival, though neither of us in the points at the moment.
P13, Vesti ahead. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 7.4 seconds.
So it's a big gap to Frederic Vesti, and we've got a mountain to climb if we want to close into the next group of cars as we set the fastest lap.
Keep this up. Well done.
So that's a bonus point coming our way if we hold on to that, as we have a near miss with Tatiana Calderon. What are you doing back here? Going a lap down now to the car running in 13th position. So yeah, Calderon's obviously had some issues. I think she's made 3 stops in the race so far. No front wing changes though, so I'm not sure what that's all about. But anyway, we continue on board with myself, and we do catch up to Frederic Vesti, and a couple of cars are in very close proximity, so points are definitely not off the cards yet as we make the move down the inside of Frederic Vesti, and we get the move done, move ourselves up.
Nice overtake.
Into P12, and it is Enzo Fittipaldi up next as we race our way through Maggots and Beckett's once more. This seems to be where we can get the best run, and as our tyres are, I think, slowly kind of fading to match everyone else's at this stage of the race, we are really only getting a good run out of Maggots and Beckett's. We had to wait until that part of the circuit to make that move on Enzo Fittipaldi.
Okay, this is your final lap of the race.
And on to the final lap now. It did take us a little bit, but we've caught up to not only Tyre Porcher, but a whole train of cars here, so we might be able to gain a few spots and get ourselves some form of meaningful points in this race. And we just need to make the move on Tyre Porcher, and we'll be into the top 10. So as we try and get the run on Tyre Porcher, we're close enough that he's thinking about it. He's going for the defense as we head around the outside, and we're going to fight this one all the way around, and we'll get the move done on Tyre Porcher, move ourselves up into the top 10. What a recovery this has been from a very much suboptimal strategy, and the unfortunate tyre situation we put ourselves in. But it is not over yet, because we still have work to do. In front of us now is Ayumu Iwasa, and we know he'll be on some decent quality tyres, and we should try to, we still need to try and get as many points as we can. So let's see if we can get the run on Ayumu Iwasa, who's tail-ending the group ahead of us. We can't quite get the run as well as I would have liked to, and Iwasa is going for the defense all the way to the right-hand side. We'll go to the middle, and we're going to try and split the middle, but that was never going to be there, and we have to slot in behind once more. But out in front, it has been a dominant race for Marino Sato. He's making a habit of this winning thing, and it's another feature race victory for the Japanese driver. and brings home 25 points today as we go back on board with myself down the inside in a double overtake into the final complex ahead of Iwasa and Armstrong in the same maneuver. But oh no, we're out of fuel, and at the final corner we're just going to drop those 3 positions we fought so hard for on the final lap, and even more.
Race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
I think we just stayed ahead of Fittipaldi there, but my goodness, what a disaster. How did that happen? Goodness me.
So Virtuosi have won it, and what a great race it was. Davide, what do you think made the difference here?
Although the Formula 2 car are all the same spec, the winner just looked better out there. It would have been a combination of getting those tires up to running temperature faster and driving to the condition on track. They made it look easy out there today.
Another race and another victory for Virtuosi as we see the drivers make their way out to the podium for the final ceremony. Superb racing out there today and a well-deserved win.
So Marino Sato takes another victory and is really starting to build a championship challenge. Yuri Vips takes 2nd position, and it is Ollie Caldwell, a podium at his home race.
After this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. The gap at the top of the championship has been cut down after a difficult race for our championship leader. And now, Davide Valsecchi, let me ask you, who is your driver of the day?
Let's give it to Marino Sato. That was a quality drive from start to finish. He can be proud of that one.
On to the teams then. Virtuosi moved to the top of the table. There was also a strong showing from the MP Motorsport team today as they make their way up the standings. Well, what a weekend that has been. Please join us next time for another thrilling installment when Formula 2 returns.
How frustrating. That, I don't know, you get a fixed fuel load for the F2 races. It's not something you can adjust, so the fact we run out is a little bit strange. I do wonder, I did accelerate and brake at the same time towards the end of the formation lap because I was really struggling to get the tires up to temperature. I do wonder if that used that little bit of extra fuel we needed to get to the end. But yeah, I don't know. That's quite frustrating. But anyway, we'll run through the full results. It was Sato ahead of Vips, then Caldwell, then it was Dennis Hauger completing a good weekend. Callan Williams, a good fight back after a disappointing race in the sprint race. Jane Deruvula next ahead of Clement Novalak, and then it was Marcus Armstrong, Ayumu Iwasa and Teo Porcher rounding out the points scorers in this one. The fastest lap went to Jane Deruvula in this race. Nicely done to the Indian driver. In terms of the drivers' standings then, we still lead the way. Sato up into 2nd position, 60 points behind us now, so that margin has come down for the first time in a while. In terms of the team's standings then, we still lead the way, and with a good race from Sato there, we extend to 132 points. So I mean, we're 1st and 2nd in the driver's standings. Of course, we're going to be leading the constructors by a margin, so that is all going very well for us on that side of things. But yes, Sato is really having a good run recently, and is putting together some really good results. So it's going to be interesting to see how the championship fight develops. We haven't seen much of Cordial and Porcher in the more recent races, just edge of the points here in this one. So they're going to need to lift their game if they want to get back involved. But that is all for this one, so I'll say thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I really do appreciate it. Please feel free to give us some feedback in the comments. It's always very helpful. And other than that, I will see you in the next one, and goodbye.